How's it going, everybody? So in this video, I'm currently drinking my top shelf Panax Red Ginseng American Ginseng elixir with cordyceps extract, mucuna, and Korean red ginseng. Only the highest quality herbs and specifically blended in a very specific way that if you don't do it this way, it's not going to work for you. And filling on top of the world. Anyway, and I'm going to talk to y'all about what am I doing to feel like a superhuman god using nutrition, herbs, training, and mindset. I'm going to talk about what actually matters as far as feeling like a boss, feeling like a god, feeling healthy as fuck, never getting sick, having super high energy, mental clarity and performance, high mood, all that good stuff, okay? Here is what really fucking matters, and here's what I've discovered, okay? Now, before I lay it down, this video is going to be super simplified. I'm gonna purposely and intentionally not explain the scientific jargon behind it. If y'all want a deeper explanation, ask me questions in the comments, and also understand I have whole playlists where I talk about the nutritional recommendations, RDIs, nutritional deficiencies. I talk about fiber intake, sleep needs, and I talk about the scientific reasoning behind a lot of stuff that I do and how I've got to where I become. So I'm not going to be getting super technical in this video, okay? What I want y'all to understand, though, is number one, I used to be extremely academic and technical, and I was obsessively reading nutritional research, health science research, and I own all of the greatest essays from the highest level doctors, scientists, and researchers in the fields, not just of ketogenic research, but of vegan research, of longevity research, and nutritional science. I am extremely, extremely well read on this topic. So I am leaving out scientific jargon, not because I don't have that understanding, but because I want to be as effective with my conveying of this information as possible, but also because most people don't freaking care. The only scientific evidence people care about is the ones that fits their own dogma. So it's funny how obsessed I can be with being scientifically accurate to avoid those little comments, right? The comments like, oh, I need a scientific reference for that. That's all pseudoscience and bro science. Where's your research, right? And then when I present that research to those people, they don't care. So anyway, let's begin. What am I doing, right? Remember, I used to have psoriasis, autoimmune conditions. I had extreme health problems when I started back in 2011, 2012. And I tried everything. The scientific, the Mediterranean diet that's promoted by mainstream, the evidence-based vegan diet with Dr. Michael Greger. I did, the basic evidence-based whole foods organic diet, including meat and everything else. I used to do all sorts of nutraceuticals and vitamin and mineral supplementation, spending hundreds and at a certain point, $1,000 a month or more on supplements and targeted nutraceuticals. I've done everything, whether it's evidence-based, science-based, mainstream, or super extreme on the other end. And here's what I found healed all of my diseases, right? Because I was really unhealthy for a long time. Has made me feel like a freaking god. I used to, back in the day when I started, get sick all the time. The closer and closer I came to doing what I do now, the less and less sick I got. But now I never get sick. I've been doing more or less, mostly what I'm doing now, or different variations of it, since the first week of December in 2018. And after that first week completely changed my life of 2018, okay? So that's 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So here in December of this year, it's going to be 5 years that I've been following almost exclusively what I'm doing now. and consistently I felt amazing, okay, doing this. Changed my life and has consistently given me the great results, and I've never had any problems with it unless I do some crazy experiment, okay? And remember, I never get sick, hardly even a sniffle, and if I do, it might last me 3 days, and it might peak for one day when my immune molecules are really, really firing and my immune system's working on removing the pathogen or whatever from my body, but it'll go away fast. It passes fast, right? That infectious disease that was going around that everyone was scared of in 2020, right? I had tested positive for it once, but had no symptoms at all. And during that time, I was actually training in a martial arts facility that had an outbreak, and everyone was actually training for fights, including myself. Everyone else was like basically dead, and they had to take 2 weeks out of the gym because of how bad they felt, and 2 weeks off of work, and they had a quarantine. For me, I had tested positive, but I felt amazing and didn't even know I was infected. And then 3 days later, tested negative, and they told me, "Oh, it must have passed already. Whatever, you tested late or whatever." It's a long story, but essentially, I never got poked. And my mom was telling me she was going to basically disown me if I didn't get poked, because it was crazy at that point, right? And she got poked, like 8 times? And she's always sick, always. But me, never, right? And I've been working in commercial gyms and martial arts gyms and all sorts of stuff where I'm always around people who will test positive, come back and get sick and all this shit. And I've never had any problems at all. I've consistently just felt on top of my health, on top of the world, super high energy, and have not been sick at all, even though I'm always around these other people and these germs and all this other crap. The reason why is because my nutrition paradigm and my herb elixirs and stuff like that, the things that I'm doing, the very simple things, the simplest of the simple, has created a terrain theory, right? It has created a body, an immune system, neurotransmitters, my brain, my body, my brain, my immune system is functioning at such a high level that I feel this amazing and I am this immune. That's just what it is. So my stuff works. I went from being unhealthy, having all sorts of issues, to suddenly being immune to all the disease, immune to everything, basically, and super high energy, and just feeling like a beast, feeling like a boss all the time. Okay? So, and there, I have studied the scientific literature enough to give y'all studies and things that back what I say. Okay? And I can name them if you're willing to listen. So. All right, so I'm not getting technical. So let's talk about this. What am I doing? So essentially, here's what I'm doing. And first of all, let me let y'all know. I am not anti-carb. I am not anti-plant. Okay? I am very much pro animal flesh. Okay? The basis of my diet is, a minimum of 2 pounds of animal flesh a day, because I'm around 200 pounds. Okay? But I try to eat more than that. If I'm eating red meat, I'm 2 pounds generally is enough, but I need more calories than that. So I'll eat cheese and milk and stuff on top of that. I also will eat honey, depending on the season. Okay. For the first 2 years of my animal-based nutrition style journey, I was eating an exclusively ketogenic, zero-carb, meat-based diet. Okay, I was eating zero-carb carnivore, but I would eat coconut oil and butter and cheese and stuff, right? After that, I started experimenting with carbs and plants and other things, but have found kind of like mostly minimal approach to that is what works, okay? So my diet paradigm has been almost exclusively beef, pork, chicken, it doesn't matter. I eat meat, and I eat as much meat as I can as I need to satisfy me, and it depends on how much I can afford during the time. Sometimes if you really want to maximize your money, right? If you want to save up for a really badass sports car, You can eat 5 pounds of chicken quarters a day. Okay, this is something I've been experimenting with for 4 months. 5 pounds of chicken quarters a day, and only spend $120 a month on food, right? It's not that I make plenty of money. It's just I wanted to see how much I could freaking save if I want to be super frugal. Feeling amazing. I actually noticed I feel way better doing 5 pounds of chicken quarters a day and then trying to drink a gallon of milk a day on top of that. I feel amazing, and I am saving so much money just doing that. And I haven't had any issues. I actually feel more healthy and more vigorous than when I was eating mostly beef, which is crazy. So anyway, Mongol warrior diet is what I like to call this. The Mongol warrior diet, okay? Mongol warriors. Do y'all know who Genghis Khan is? Search up Genghis Khan. Search up the Mongol army, okay? The Mongol warriors, Mongolia, Genghis Khan, all that badass stuff, right? Single-handedly conquered Asia and parts of Europe for years, eating nothing but meat, blood, and milk. And they would go days and sometimes weeks without eating anything, just fasted. Okay, and they didn't need to smoke cigarettes like the opposition. They were reported as being more energetic, healthier, having healthier bones. Their teeth were better. They were overall more healthy, more energized, and more vigorous than all of their enemies and all of the people that they conquered and dominated. They were eating less overall food, less frequently, but they were ninjas. They weren't trying to be optimal like these biohacking fuckboys, okay? Don't even get me started. The mainstream paradigm on longevity is wrong. The mainstream paradigm on being healthy is wrong. Okay? And there's way more evidence than the Mongol warriors. Again, I'm not getting overly technical. If y'all disagree with this or you think that this is bullshit, in the comments, ask me questions. Because I'm telling you, I have hundreds of pieces of evidence for any question you can ask me. Okay, I have a lot more to tell y'all than just the Mongol warriors, but this is the example I'm using because it's badass, and it's amazing. They ate nothing but meat, milk, and blood of their animals, and they made their own kind of version of whey protein. So the Mongol warriors, they made like this powdered dry milk paste that they would mix with water or something to create like a milk drink. They were like the first pioneers of whey protein. I'm sure there were other people before them. But I found this very fascinating. The Mongol warriors not only ate almost exclusively meat, but they had a whey protein-like drink back then, like dry milk paste. It's pretty amazing. So what do I eat? Again, I told y'all it's been for the most part it was mostly beef and cheese and stuff, and I did fruit for a while. But lately, what I've been doing is, first of all, again, meat, milk, and then whey protein and cheese lately. And then occasionally I go out with Latinas, and we eat sushi buffets, and occasionally tacos. And anyway, but that's not all the time. Or I'll go out with my friends sometimes. Some of my closest friends, we like to talk business, talk about future plans, and then talk about social philosophy and things like that, and social dynamics. And we'll eat sushi and tacos and stuff like that. That's my favorite way of catching up with my friends, and also my favorite date idea. I don't know why, it just is. So sushi is there these days, right? I'll get to that in a bit, but it's not really going to have a significant impact on your health. And if anything, it just makes me more energized for the next day, refilling my liver glycogen with sushi. But it's rare. Anyway, what was I going to say? Lately, it's been for the last 3 months, 3 or maybe 4 months. It's been about 3 to 5 pounds of chicken quarters a day. Okay. And then the last 1 month, I've been trying to do a gallon of milk a day. And then I've been adding whey protein to the milk as well. And again, let me just state this off the bat. Your body does not automatically convert excess protein into glucose outright. It doesn't do that. Not even if there's a demand, okay? So first of all, gluconeogenesis, right? The creation of glucose from non-carbohydrate sources is a demand-driven process. Consuming whey protein and extra protein outside of your general recommendations does not just straight up create glucose. It's not going to cause insulin problems because it actually increases glucagon more than insulin. Your body doesn't just convert excess protein into glucose, but that protein is actually used mostly for lean mass. There's been protein overfeeding studies that have proved this, but also for your neurotransmitters and your connective tissue. And I think the reason why a lot of people, they have tendon and joint issues is because they're only eating enough protein to either survive or eating enough protein for muscle mass. But you need a lot more protein than you think. That's really what I believe. A lot of people have sleeping problems and they're only eating the general recommended amount of protein. They find if they double their protein intake, oftentimes their sleep problems completely go away. And I found if I'm only eating 1 gram per pound of body weight, which I know sounds like a lot, or sounds like enough, whatever, I'm okay. But generally my sleep might not be so well if I'm training really hard. But if I add more, like 100 grams more, generally I feel better. Anyway, I don't want to get too deep in this. There's a lot of stupid idiots who are going to tell me stupid shit. It has nothing to do with carbohydrates, though, because I also will generally eat quite a bit of honey. And even with a gallon of milk a day type of experiment where I'm getting over 100 grams of carbs from the lactose, the protein is very, very important because protein creates melatonin. Protein is the precursor to melatonin and your neurotransmitters, and also glutathione production. People don't realize glutathione and melatonin and glycine, all of these things work in synergy for relaxation and GABA production and also sleep. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to get too technical, but just because people are going to say stupid shit like, oh, all that extra protein is just creating carbs and that's why you feel better. Shut the fuck up. That's not true. That's called being a noob and understanding this from a very naive and noob area. But when you understand ketosis and gluconeogenesis and how sleep is affecting all these things and protein metabolism, and you understand more than just the mainstream he said, she said, okay, of protein and ketosis and all this other crap, you'll understand that there's more to it. But this is why I had to get technical with this, because too many fucking morons in the mainstream. And it's really arrogance. Anyway, where was I going with this? Mongol warrior diet, man. So, lately it's been about 5 pounds of chicken quarters. And then I try to get a gallon of milk a day. And sometimes and usually I only eat 1 meal a day. Lately I've been training from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed. I'm not going to get too deep, but my routine lately has been like, I'll wake up, I'll take my ginseng elixir, and my ginseng elixir is super badass. It is key. And usually I have some honey in that ginseng elixir. Maybe about 4 tablespoons of honey. Okay, fuck it, that's the truth. Then I'll do my weight training. That'll last me, it'll be hard as fuck. I'm doing Zercher squats, I'm doing deadlifts, overhead presses every single day. And I'm auto-regulating, so it's possible to do that and not overdo it. Then I do my metabolic conditioning. Lately, it's been heavy bag rounds. I'll do like an hour of just hardcore heavy bag intervals, and then I'll go and I'll do jiu-jitsu, or I'll do karate or Muay Thai, depending on who I'm training with. And I've been doing a lot more kickboxing lately. Which is unfortunate because I want to do mostly jiu-jitsu, but it's just how things have been lately. And generally I'll do another hour to 2 hours of training. But overall, I train on average about 4 hours a day, 4 to 6 days a week, generally speaking. And then I usually don't eat until around 8 or usually like 9 or 10 p.m. at the very, very end of my day after I've done all this training. So I'm training a lot. I'm burning a lot of just overall calories and everything else. And I'll eat the 5 pounds of chicken, and then I'll try to drink a half a gallon of milk after that. But lately, I've been experimenting, and it just depends. I don't like to eat or drink anything. I don't like to drink milk or eat food if I'm going to do jiu-jitsu in the evening, because it just really bogs down my performance and makes me sluggish if I eat food or drink milk before jiu-jitsu. And then you have some 300-pound purple belt laying on top of you in side control, crushing your diaphragm. It's really horrible. So, yeah, I'll fast the entire day. And, I have like some days, not always, some days I'll have the 4 tablespoons of honey with my tonic herb elixir in the morning. But remember, I'm training like 4 hours a day. So usually, so ketosis, I have tested my blood ketones after a hard day of training, after consuming 100 grams of carbs in the morning from honey, okay? And then training all day and then not eating until after training. And my blood ketones was over one nanogram per deciliter of beta hydroxybutyrate, or 1 millimole of beta hydroxybutyrate per millimole, whatever. Blood ketone monitor stated I was in deep ketosis, and you could smell the ketones on my breath, despite eating 100 grams of carbs from honey in the morning. Okay, so understand that you can be in a deep state of ketosis even eating 100 grams of carbs from honey in the morning. So people don't understand. There's a huge difference between the gimmick or the trendy diet of a ketogenic diet, and then there's real scientific metabolic ketosis, where it's measured by blood ketones and has nothing to do with how much carbs you're eating. It's about your liver glycogen, how much liver glycogen you have versus how much glucose is coming in versus how much ketones are being produced and burned and absorbed. So huge difference. So anyway, my ginseng elixir, I've been consuming this ginseng elixir since around May of 2023. So it's been something like a year and a half almost. It's been almost a year and a half that I've been taking the same from local farm red Panax ginseng root powder, just the raw powder, and American ginseng as a combo, and then the cordyceps extract. I've been taking Hyperion Herbs cordyceps consistently since something like February of 2021. So that's over 3 years. So I've been doing all of this stuff pretty consistently. I have found this diet I've been following for almost 5 years, right? And I've changed and tweaked things. These herbs, the ginseng I've been taking for a year and a half consistently because it works, right? I just been tinkering the dose and just adding and removing other things to enhance it. The Hyperion Herbs cordyceps I've been taking since 2021. Okay, Hyperion Herbs, very good brand, and their cordyceps is the only thing I'll ever recommend. Like the best you can do. Don't ever take any cordyceps unless it's Hyperion Herbs. Yeah, and then I've been doing Mucuna lately as well, but a relatively low dose. So, yeah. I don't obsess over anything else. And here's the thing. Not only do I feel amazing, and like I said, never sick, always on top of the world. It's super simple. I just eat enough meat. I take my tonic herbs, and then I just train. And I also practice affirmations and visualization. I don't do any delusion. I don't believe in fake it till you make it at all. I don't believe in so-called toxic positivity. I believe in genuinely creating what I call an ecosystem of positive emotions in your life, consciously developing your life to make it constantly conducive to feeling empowered. And I do believe in affirming your goals every morning in the first person and before you go to bed, and constantly redirecting your thoughts towards constructive constructive and empowering, I'm going to make this work type of things. The biggest thing I've learned is it's not about optimizing your nutrition. It's not about optimizing your sleep, okay? The healthier you are, the less sleep you need. That's a fact. Sorry, y'all. It's been studied with human intervention trials, actually. I mentioned this in the past. I'm not going to mention it before. I have a whole playlist on it. If you're too ignorant to search up my other videos in my playlist on sleep and the science behind sleep, I don't care. This will literally change your life. People are they want to believe that they need that they need to obsess over sleep. People want to believe they need to obsess over plant foods. They want to believe they need to obsess over nutrient deficiencies. But if you do all the stuff that I've been doing, if you understand the things I do, you're golden. And you're on top of the world. So, was there anything else I need to cover in this? Oh yeah. Not only have I found that the 5 years of me doing this has dramatically changed my life, but my clients too. I started working with the general population for health consultations and health and nutrition, but also for fat loss and helping people reverse diabetes and these things. They'd come to me too with doctor's notes and stuff like that, and their doctors were aware. And I'd have them start to consume, not exactly the same diet that I'm following, obviously, but they'd be consuming generally meat, non-starchy vegetable, and removing the majority of the pretty much all added fats, and eating essentially a ketogenic kind of like paleo diet, right? So they'll eat some berries here and there. They'll eat the non-starchy veg, nothing too extreme. But their net carbs are under 50 a day. And they're still getting fiber. They're still getting potassium and magnesium from their fruits and vegetables, even though I don't believe it's necessary. And I tell them, eat the veg that you like. Don't force feed yourself salads. It's not going to help you. And guess what? These people consistently training with me too. The training's huge because our training programs are crazy. My scientific training protocol, variations of 10 by 10 German volume training, certain metabolic conditioning circuits and stuff. Anyway, their hemoglobin A1C, their diabetes markers, fasting insulin, all consistently go down, and it goes down. Their triglycerides go down into the super healthy range. They start to have the fitness and the health markers of a 20-year-old in their prime. It's amazing. Like, I have had 55-year-old women. I have one 53-year-old client who lost 100 pounds in 10 months doing this. Her hemoglobin A1C went into the healthy range. Blood pressure went in the healthy range. Even her LDL, which is surprising because she eventually had to eat a lot of saturated fat. She actually went from 280 pounds down to 140 pounds at the age of 53 doing all this stuff. And had to add a lot of saturated fat into her diet because she was just lost so much body fat. And her LDL somehow went down into the vegan healthy range, which was crazy. And she was actually concerned that her LDL went into the healthy range, right? Which is crazy. So consistently, my clients have had amazing results doing this stuff. And I was working in commercial gyms for about 4 years straight, something like that. Yeah, from 2020 to recently, and now I'm actually just completely done as far as I'm concerned with that. I have not seen any other nutritionist or freaking personal trainer or anyone with any certification or medical degree get the results that I have, except for certain people that are also in these ketogenic communities. People like Rob Wolf, right? People like Sean Baker and these people. And their programs are simple, very, very simple. And they're getting average humans of all ages, even in their 70s, to completely turn their life around. And Rob Wolf, what I like about him is he's not dogmatic. His clients and his people and his followers, they're eating vegetables. They might eat berries. Some of them are eating white rice. but they're following these basic principles and they're changing their lives. So I found my program works. The way I do these things for fat loss, for metabolic diseases like diabetes, for for autoimmune conditions like Crohn's disease, psoriasis, fibromyalgia. Like I've talked before in other videos about my ex-girlfriend who had fibromyalgia, and we completely put that shit into remission because we found she had specific food intolerances or serious allergies to peanuts and wheat proteins, whether it's gliadin, not just gluten, but gliadin is another thing people don't know about in wheat. And for her specifically, not everyone's going to get fibromyalgia or problems from these things, but she did. So I have seen my philosophies literally change the lives of so many people. And the only times I've seen it not work for people is when people aren't doing the program or they're not doing it. They'll say they're doing it, but they're kind of half-assing it. Don't even get me started on these people who insist they're doing my tonic herb elixir routine, but then they're not blending it right. There's a huge difference between using one of those electric whiskers to blend your coffee, like a fluffer or whatever, versus like actually using a glass blender. People don't understand that. And then they think they're drinking raw ginseng powder raw and not even blending it in hot coffee or brewing it. And then they're like, oh yeah, I still feel it, bro. Like, bro, if you can't tell the difference between just taking raw ginseng straight up versus blending it in hot liquid, you never actually have the real effect. There's a huge difference. Because objectively, your body cannot absorb the ginsenosides and the saponins if you don't blend it and extract it using hot liquid, unless you're using a ginseng extract. Anyway, and I've had clients who were using one of those electric fluffers or a stupid, weak little ninja blender, and they're like, oh, I think I kind of feel it. And then I'm like, hey, try the full-on old-school glass blender like me. Use 32 ounces of liquid of piping hot coffee or boiling water. Try that. And they'll do that, and they'll blend it for 2 minutes straight like I recommended in a real glass blender with 32 ounces of water on high. And they're like, oh, my God, it's like a 9-day difference. Holy fuck, right? So anyway, yeah, so here's the thing, okay? The meat-based diet is key. Finding out if you do better or worse with carbs. Most people that aren't training as hard as me, they find they don't like. They might a little bit of berries here and there is fine. Maybe a tablespoon of honey is fine. But generally they don't need as much carbs as me. Fucking people, I swear to God. And so anyway, find the little tweaks you got to make, right? But understand that the meat-based nutrition paradigm, mostly ketogenic, is generally key. And then you might need more or less carbs on top of that. Generally, people don't experience significant benefits from adding plants, but if you do, then whatever. The whole point is to start with a meat-based nutrition and then add on top of that to make it work for you. Okay? And then, the tonic herbs I found are key, but understand that it's individualized, right? So again, certified nutritionist, I do consultations. So if you're interested, if you want me to help you kind of find, individualize this and tweak it for your own circumstances and stuff, let me know. Because some people might need more yin tonics on top of the ginseng. Other people might need something completely different altogether. I do recommend people read on this themselves. This is a really good place to start, the Ginseng Handbook. And for ketogenic metabolism, this is a really, really good one. From the pioneers of the research, Dr. Stephen Finney and Jeff Volok, PhD. And then on top of that, training is important, but there's a lot of different ways to structure it. So obviously, I'm a certified MMA conditioning coach, certified personal trainer, certified bodybuilding and physique coach, even though I'm not really into that. I have the best certifications in the game, but obviously it's more so the results that I produce, which is top tier. And like I said before, the results I produce: health, wellness, body composition, metabolic health, performance, motivation, energy, all of that. Top tier. And then on top of that, okay, the big thing that most people miss, people get so obsessed with health information, so obsessed with herbs, supplements, nutrition, and they ask stupid questions that don't matter. Like, where do I get my magnesium? Or what do you think about this magnesium supplement? Or what do you think about adding turmeric on top of that? Or, what is wrong with carbs? Or what is wrong with this? Or what is wrong with that? The reality is, motherfucker, 20% of methods yield you 80% of results. Eat the meat-based diet first and try to just do exclusively beef for a while. Add some berries, try adding white rice, see if you do better with starches. Again, I can help guide through that process if you don't know really what factors kind of mess with. So follow me and ask me for my Instagram in the comments, because I change it every now and then. Send me a DM and we'll talk. I could help you with it. But the biggest thing on top, once you got the basic nutrition and herb stuff down, is mentality and mindset, goal setting, and getting your life on track. So I'll have to make a whole nother video about this. But nutrition, when you learn as much as I do, you'll know it's so simple. You don't need to waste your time on the all of this, the science and stuff behind it. You need to find a program that works really, really well for you and isn't going to have side effects down the road. And I'll talk about that some other time. Have some sort of vision for your life. Have a pursuit of mastery, an avenue of conquest. Okay, So for me, it is jiu-jitsu. Like I really, truly want to be a 4-time world champion in jiu-jitsu. And then I also have some extreme financial goals as well that are going to be kept to myself. And so those are the things that I think about every day when I wake up. And also winning gold medals and other things. I have a whole thing. And then I have quite a few goals, okay? I don't want to say them all outright, okay? Because they're always kind of molding, okay? But I have some very specific goals, right, that I have in my brain. And so every morning when I wake up, I affirm these over and over again to keep my mind focused on it. So throughout the day, when I'm talking to people, there's going to be a lot of humans that will message you or that will talk to you in person, you know what I mean? And they'll talk to you about all sorts of crazy stuff. It's important not to get caught up in politics and in other people's drama and other people's problems. It's important not to get to allow yourself to entertain too much of other people's chatter that has nothing to do with the things you're trying to bring about, right? So when you're going throughout your day, you need to know what is your main vision in life so that you can filter out all of the experiences that you experience that are counterproductive to what kind of life you want to live. And I'm not saying like if you're trying to be like one of the, like, I'm definitely not telling, like, there's people out there that think, you have to be a millionaire to be happy. That's fucking stupid. Okay, or like, for me, I want to be a 4-time world champion in jiu-jitsu. I'm not dissing people, I'm not ignoring people who also don't do jiu-jitsu. That's fucking stupid. However, if my main goal in life is, hey, I want to be happy, I want to love my life, I want to enjoy my life, I want to be a champion, all this other crap, right? And I'm at the grocery store and there's someone that starts talking to me. If they're high vibe, right? If they're high vibe, they're cool people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's golden. We're gonna make magic out of that experience, especially if it's in the checkout line. Because what's the alternative? Just be bored, right? Always talk, always be social, and have fun. But if someone else, they started a conversation with you in the checkout line and like, man, I fucking hate this weather and I hate this political party and fuck this and whatever. but they're just complaining, or like, or you know, they start talking like, hey, you know, you start getting a conversation, and then they're like, yeah, man, like, I hate that about women, and women are this or women are that. Like, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear the victim mentality. I don't want to hear people tell me, oh, I'm too old for that, and I've got all these problems that is preventing me from reaching my goals. So that's important to filter out, you know what I mean, and to identify these people that are talking to me, what paradigm are they coming from? You know what I mean? And then if I give them some helpful advice, is it going to help them or not? And I don't want to go too deep in this, but 9 times out of 10, if someone has a victim mentality, there's nothing you could do to say to help them, okay? And I have a whole nother video that'll come out later on that'll explain all of this stuff, okay? Explain all of that. But I know for a fact, from experience and observation, you could want the best for someone. You could give them financial support. You could change their circumstances, give them a good home, all this stuff. But if they got a victim mentality, if they've got serious, deep-rooted limiting beliefs, there's nothing you can do to help them. Anyway, so where was I going with this? That's important. Know what you want in life. Know what your vision is. Know what kind of girls you want in your life, or boy, whatever, partner you want. Know what type of friends you want. And then when you're talking to people in your life, when you're getting jobs and stuff, you need to be doing your best to make sure that the people and the experiences in your life, they are aligning with your values. They are aligning with the things you want to create. And then look at other people through the lens of compatibility with what it is you're trying to do, right? This eliminates a lot of insecurities and anxieties people have. When you walk into a building, let's just say, you walk into a room full of people, okay? Knowing what it is that you're trying to do with your experience in any given situation. I am like trying to have a good time. I'm trying to maximize the moment, and I'm trying to reach my goals, okay? So if I'm going to the gym, I'm trying to train, I'm trying to get stronger, I'm trying to get more conditioned. And then if I talk to people, I'm just trying to have a good time, maybe try to get to know them if I'm interested in them, but not spending too much time talking to other people because I'm trying to get stronger, trying to reach my goals, okay? And that's important because I working with a lot of people who go to the gym, you know, personal training and stuff like that, I hear oftentimes one of the biggest reasons why people have trouble staying consistent to a training routine at the gym is because they have social anxiety. They're always scared that other people are judging them and stuff. So it's very, very easy for you to not even think about people judging you if you remind yourself and constantly reaffirm in the moment, I'm here to train, I'm here to lose body fat, I'm here to win medals, whatever. And I'm also here to have a good time. I'm here to, you know, if I talk to other people, and you should be okay with it because people are going to come up to you, and trying to prevent it is kind of like a losing battle. You should just have a home gym, and if you want to be a antisocial monk, you know, getting to know them, who are they, and then also have fun, light, positive vibes with the social interaction, and then move on. Generally building rapport over time, and you never know, maybe they have job opportunities for you. Maybe they could become your best friend at some time. There's a lot of people I know that have met their wives and the love of their life or whatever at the gym, and it was just like a natural thing that happened. Anyway, all of that to say that that's kind of the mentality that you should have. Not just, you know, this isn't just about when you go to the gym. This is about every day when you wake up in the morning. Why am I living this life? Why am I dancing around at the grocery store or whatever, singing a song? Why am I in a good mood? And why do I want to be in a good mood all the time? Why do I purposely not allow myself to entertain complaining victim thought patterns? Because they're not constructive, and because it's not going to help me with my goals. You have to understand this, because it's not about delusional thinking, it's not about magical thinking, but knowing what you want in your life, knowing what your intention is for this life, knowing what you want to create, knowing the lifestyle you want to live, knowing what your end goal is, and then knowing why you're here. Why am I at the grocery store? Why am I at the gym? Why am I doing this career? Why am I hanging out with this friend? Doing these things with intention and knowing your values. That's really what values are. And then doing your best to remind yourself that constantly, and then align your life and make decisions based on is this compatible with what I want, right? So when people talk about the law of attraction, something that you'll hear is focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. And I think that is a very realistic thing. It's about, what am I trying to create? What do I want to create? This avoids a lot of social problems people deal with. And this all has to do with health, by the way. This is why I'm talking about it. Because a lot of people, you'll have your nutrition on point and all this, but then you don't have your money on point. You don't have your careers on point. You don't have your girlfriend on point. You don't have your life on point. I've consulted with people who are optimizing everything in their nutrition, but they don't got no life, and wonder why they feel like crap all the time. It's because you spend all of your free time obsessing over nutrition science stuff that isn't even necessary, and you have no social group. You spent 20 years with no friends, no relationship, and you have nothing going on for you. So it doesn't matter how healthy you are physically if you have no reason to wake up in the morning. So anyway, and this has been key for me because I went through this. And so where was I going with that? Damn it. Knowing what is it that I want? Okay, what do I want? Okay, this helps you avoid a lot of drama and a lot of arguments and conflict. Okay, because let's say you're in a relationship, right? Obviously, if you want to be in a relationship with a girl and you want to be happy, right? And then let's say the girlfriend or whatever, let's say she had a bad day at work. Okay, well, you want to help her feel better, and you want to, obviously, if anything, create relief for her, but create relief in the environment, right? There's a lot of ways to do this, and, whatever. This is an overly simplified way of doing it. But there are people out there who will start to, bring all sorts of problems to their girlfriend or whatever, and like, well, what the hell? Why do you not care? And all sorts of stuff. It's like, well, I just had a bad day and whatever else, and I just want to relax and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, well, what about this? And what about that? And it's like, you want peace, you want satisfaction, you want relief, you want love, you want health, okay? And if you act in a way that's opposite to bringing that forth, what are you going to get? You're going to get the opposite of it. So that's a weird example that I'm bringing in, but if you want money, okay? If you want money, okay? And let's say you're at a sales job, right? You're at a sales job where the whole goal is to sell people, okay? It's very common for people to be like, man, I try to sell as much as I can and blah, 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 and no one wants to buy my stuff and all sort of stuff. And the approach is assume the sell. Anyway, I'm going way off the deep end, and I don't think I'm making sense anymore. But focus on what you want. Try to align your thoughts with what's constructive to bringing forth the things you want. Align the experiences, the interactions you have, the experiences you have. Align your nutrition, your lifestyle, and all these other things. Your focus. Focus on life in a way that is in alignment with bringing forth your vision, your goals, and these other things, okay? Don't worry about David Goggins, Walking Through the Fire and Flames, or these other fucking motivational speakers. That isn't the key, okay? It's a lot simpler than that. Know what you want, focus on that, and then do your best not to allow yourself to go down a rabbit hole of negative drama and nonsense. That's what a lot of people do. They're arguing with random strangers on the internet, arguing with random people and and their friends, arguing with their family about drama, politics, religion, all this crazy stuff, and all it's doing is creating more conflict, and it's taking up room in their mind that could be used to visualize and think about the things that they want. Right? So, I mean, this is real powerful. So, if you do all of these things I mentioned in this video, another thing, listen to music. Listen to music that pumps your state, and music with lyrics that affirm the things you want to bring into your life. Okay? Use music as a tool to help you get into the state of creation and creating good things. Okay? It's very easy to feel great. It's very easy to be healthy. It's just a matter of getting your mind focused in the right direction and knowing where to go with all this. Okay, and if you have it on lock, like I do, then it's easy and it doesn't really take a lot of crazy nonsense. Okay, so there's a lot of other things to kind of go into, but I think that these are kind of like the fundamentals, right? And also, here's another thing. If you have friends that are in opposition to the vision you're trying to create, okay, so you don't have to you don't have to have millionaire friends who are trying to be a millionaire. Okay, I don't want to go too deep into this, but generally, as long as the friends have the vibe, you know what I mean, and they're not bringing negative energy in your life, they're good. But your friend group can make or break you. The same thing with girls. Like, I know a lot of guys out there that focus so much on girls. They get with these girls who will take all their money, and they'll backstab them and lie to them, and it's a liability and not an asset, right? So understand, if you're obsessively trying to obtain material objects, it could actually do the opposite, right? I'm not saying females are material objects. I mean, what I'm saying is it's not about, you have to be careful, okay? Don't settle for less, and is what I'm saying. As for me, the girls that I've always had in my life are assets. They're always giving me way more value than they're taking, okay? So if you're one of those guys with a bitter kind of perspective on females, or a bitter perspective on humans and friendships, you need to understand that it's more so the types of people that you're settling for, okay? And another thing on that, if you are in a client-based situation where your whole career revolves around you have to rely on dealing with humans that are leeching off of you. That's not good. So anyway, yeah, so I'll talk about this some other time. I'm gonna post this video. I think this is good enough. Let me know in the comments any questions you have, if you want me to expand deeper on any of this. And I promise you I'll give you like a nice reply. I won't be an asshole, okay? But just do your best to be civil in the comments and ask good, logical questions. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all next time. Oh, and read the book Viralnomics, okay? Viralnomics. It's a book on marketing, but I think it also applies to friendships and relationships too. It's basically, the gist of it is focus on being authentic and the best version of yourself, but authentic. Okay, the best version of yourself while staying true to your values. Stay true to your values. Know what your values are. By values, I mean what is important to you. What is your vision? What is your goal? What do you want in your life? What do you want in your life? Stay authentic to that and be the best version of that. Remove toxic behaviors from your life. Remove neediness. Remove negativity. Remove anger. Remove attachment to other people and attachment to outcome. Be allowing with other people. Let other people be who they are. Focus on alignment with other people. Be super authentic with your values. And then focus on compatibility. And what you'll find is, if you're in a client-based system, you'll always have clients, and those clients you are with are going to be the best clients for you because they authentically resonate with you, vibrate on the same level. They are extremely compatible with you. They're going to give you the best results, be the best clients, the most dedicated because they like you as a human, and they are interested. They're riding on the same ship as you, and they're also going to be the same people that will tell their friends. They will share your stuff on social media. They will be loyal forever because they've been that compatible thing. As a personal trainer for so many years and then being successful, and I have clients who have been with me for 6 years straight. Some of them even more than that. And they'll always come back, even if they do on a hiatus, and they tell all their friends, they'll bring their family in and all this other stuff. That's what you want. The same thing goes for friendships, okay? Be open and free with your socialization and always do your best to bring your most valuable self when you're talking to people, and not in a way where you're trying to gain validation from others or you're trying to get something out or get a reaction, but more so you want to know who other people are. You're being open with it, and you're trying to raise the vibe and share a little bit about yourself in an authentic manner too. But then let it go and be okay with it not going well and being detached from the outcome. And the same thing with careers, This is who I am. This is a value I can bring to the company. Obviously, be your most professional self, depending on the circumstance. I think in sales and marketing, I think professionalism is an illusion. I think the most conducive money-making strategy, if you are a nutritional consultant of some kind, a personal trainer or whatever, it's more so the energy you bring. And I think oftentimes people are actually looking for someone outside the box who's not professional to allow them to bring out their authentic self too. That's actually, unfortunately, the more professional you are, oftentimes the less high-end, top-end money you bring in. If you try to be compatible with everyone, you're going to be compatible with no one. Okay, so it's better just be yourself, but be the most valuable version of yourself. What I was saying, but what careers that works too? Be a professional, high value version of your authentic self, and try to find the job that is compatible with you, that vibes on the same wavelength as you. That doesn't suck your soul, but at the same time, it might be challenging, but it's worth the challenge because of the value it gives you back, right? And then focus on the things you have to be grateful for of that job. Something else is that never let perfection be the enemy of good. There is a lot of there's a lot, people out there. Like, you could have a relationship that may not be 100% perfect, but it's perfect in so many areas that it's rare you'll find that otherwise. The 95% of human beings are not going to come close to getting 75% of a perfect partner. And I've had this before. A relationship I was in for 5 years. She was 75% perfect, but I focused so much on the things that weren't perfect that it blinded me. But anyway, and I, she didn't break up with it. It was a mutual thing. It's a long story, but anyway, because we needed to be singles and separate so that she could go to college and build her own career and her own journey and find her own adult self, and I needed to be single so that I could build my own career and find my own place in life. Like, that's legit. Because we just weren't. Well, I know I wasn't ready for a committed relationship at that time, but if I was, she would have definitely been the best life partner. A lot of people don't have that type of breakup dynamic, but what was I saying? Anyway, yeah, compatibility, Viralnomics. Read the book, Viralnomics. It's very important. It's life-changing. Everything is really, really simple when you find out the 20% of most powerful, godlike, esoteric methods that yield you 80% results. When you find out what really matters, when you find out the real powerful stuff, everything becomes simple. But most people, they focus on all the crazy niche stuff, the crazy overcomplicated stuff, and they get nowhere. That's the average human. Anyway, leave your questions and comments down below, and I'll talk to y'all next time. So whatever. Viralnomics, freaking meat-based diet, tonic herb elixirs, eat a little bit of carbs if necessary, compatibility, alignment with your goals, know what you want in life, all of this cool stuff. Affirmations work, whatever. All right, leave your questions and comments down below.